season, and then it just
Yeah.
like it rolls down the hill, and then it just goes for a little while, and then it just like rolls to a stop, and
Yeah.
then they
Yep.
pull the thing out from under it again. It's it's a weird way to structure it,
Yeah, I
at
think
least than what we're used to.
the big moments are in the middle of the season. I think it's curious because there's the moments where they're in the magic space ocean or whatever, and a lot of the raid, which there was a lot going on there, and now we're kind of this is just a weird way to end the season to me. But clearly they're going to do season 3. It would make total sense because and I'm still kind of in the zone with this is getting really complicated and this is getting really deep and really philosophical. I'm very curious about how they're going to tie it all together. We'll see.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And I've kind of been sinking some time into Alpha Sapphire here, which is about as good as I expected. I like these games. They're fun to just get. Like I just play them and I turn on YouTube on my TV and I listen to Total Biscuit and his wife play Honey Pop because that is a funny video. I just kind of have shows on in the background while I play that. Those are good for RPGs. Who's next?
Cardinal, what have you been up to?
What have I been up to this week? Trying to fix the crap out of my insomnia that I've been having for the last 6 months. Don't know how much I told you guys about that, but I have had trouble sleeping so bad so that I'll get maybe 30 hours of sleep in a month if I'm lucky. Yes, kind of bad sometimes.
We're all kind of sleep deprived right now, man. So I feel you.
I'm chugging a 5-hour energy.
There you go. Everything I can to fix that. Sort of working, sort of not. Maybe.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, we'll find out. It just goes to the point where I was blacking out because I was too tired. So I kind of have to figure it out. Yeah.
I've done that at work.
Yeah, not good.
Standing up before, it's not really that fun.
Luckily, as far as I could tell, I've been at home every time it's happened. So, yay. Other than that, playing Armor 3, seeing how that is, it's far different than Armor 2.
Really?
So,
I've heard a little bit about that. How is that going?
Amazingly. Mainly because I'm having fun with the physics engine in there, just driving cars off cliffs and watching it fly for a little while. It's kind of hilarious.
Fun.
Oh yeah, and then just jumping out so I don't die. But,
What killed you?
I don't know if Cardinal's in. Are you in chat or not?
Yeah.
I'm not currently because I only just got here, but I will be.
Trenchfoot gave you a suggestion.
Yes.
I'm not saying it.
I'm not saying it either.
But I want to know. Maybe Alex will say it.
Well, it should load when you get into chat.
Maybe.
It
usually
shows the past 5 things that happened.
Okay, everyone in chat, shut up for a second.
I don't know if that's gonna do it. It's gonna do it.
Still loading. God damn it, Australian internet. Be faster.
Load.
Alright. There we go.
Yep. You're welcome, everyone who's watching this on YouTube and
that's hilarious.
You're welcome.
Yep.
Oh man, I have been suggested many things. That one might be the most fun. I'm just saying.
I mean, you always have the sleep test, as I think it's called, or the sleep contest, where you take NyQuil or sleeping meds, and you essentially start as, for lack of a better term, cranking one out. And so either you fall asleep or you come. Either which way, it's win-win.
That's just fucking hilarious. As for the medication side, we've been trying to stick away from it.
Woman. You sick.
What?
Last time we had it, there was a bad turnout. The doctor was like, all right, we'll start you off on half of one. It knocked me out for over 18 hours. Half of one sleeping pill, which 2 of them were supposed to keep you out for 8.
Whoops.
So the doctor was afraid of anything else.
I challenge Cat.
You know what? I don't mind this challenge. I'm just gonna sit back this time. I don't know what's gonna happen, but
Oh wow.
oh
Yeah,
man.
that totally just
But
happened.
yeah, so other than that, not much games this week. I've been reading a book, trying to sleep. I've
That
started
usually
reading.
does it for me.
Yeah, it was one of the suggestions, basically.
I love British swear words.
Oh yeah, they are fun.
They're the best.
They also don't sound as bad as they're intended to.
But you can't say them in an American accent.
Really?
Anchor or
Yeah, I
bollocks.
I guess.
They're just fun to or
See,
twat.
it made you cringe a little bit. Yeah, it did. He's like, oh, I can't.
Oh yeah, but so my week's been full of that.
You are a wanker. That was like Kennedy.
God.
You know, a shovel to the head might just do it. It might be necessary at this point.
Oh.
Don't inflict bodily harm. Then we can't have you on the cast.
I never said bodily death. Just this. Other than that, I guess shave the beard. It's kind of short now.
Yep.
I shaved too.
I feel cold. You know, it's that.
Makes me cry.
But yeah, that's my week. All full of trying to sleep and not really working too much.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Tog, what have you been up to?
Stuff. So, you know how I was having car trouble before, right? I'm a
Yeah.
proud owner of 2 new tires because one exploded.
Oh,
Shit.
no.
All kinds of fun. So, that happened.
Is that because of the deer thing still or something new?
Oh, that's entirely different. Oh, different ball of wax. So that happened. Obviously, lots of stuff with work is still going on. That never really stops. I have recently picked up a PlayStation camera, so that way when I stream off of that, I'll actually have camera off of it.
Yay!
And
Nice.
Something
It is
so
nice.
you and my friend Matt both had car trouble, and you both got a PlayStation camera,
it's weird, huh?
which is bizarre.
Small freaking world.
Yeah. I'm actually kind of shocked at how good the PlayStation camera is. It's like a nice piece of hardware, and it has like auto chroma key on it, like so many things. You can put all these weird filters on it, so it looks like you're looking through an old ass like security camera, or it's a comic book, or all sorts of weird shit.
It was selling
Cool.
out so much at the launch. It was very hard to find, and I think that's mostly because Sony was pushing live streaming so much. With the
Well, I
PlayStation.
mean, you can literally start streaming whatever the hell you're doing on Twitch TV by pushing 3 buttons. Right there.
I haven't used sharing or the share button on the PlayStation 4 since I got it at launch. I'm one of the weirdos. But
Yeah, I mean, I still need to get OBS and crap set up for PC streaming. So as for now, my streaming is coming off of the PlayStation, and I'm still doing a lot of stuff on that. Still doing Destiny, still doing Dying Light, still doing Dragon Age and that Dragon Ball game, which is all of those are fun, but I can't. I'm trying to do so many things on stream, I can't actually keep a game down.
Damn.
So what's wrong with that?
I'm not getting games done. That's what's wrong with it.
Eventually you will.
Eventually,
gotta
but I want to
prioritize.
beat him. I want to feel accomplished. On that, I'm actually, speaking of PC gaming and whatnot, I'm about halfway through recording first part of AVP,
Nice.
that thing that people voted for. So that's actually going pretty good. Had a couple ideas for funny jokes in there, so that's going to be fun. What the hell else? A bunch of movie and TV news and stuff, but that's for my section once we get to it. Still running a Pathfinder game. It's going to be disastrous and hilarious because it's horror and but
Full of awesome.
yeah, it's going to be. It's going to be so bad. A lot of them are first timers, well, not really first timers, but first timers like really running or with a Pathfinder game. There's one of them has been used to 3.5 forever, and two of them have
Pathfinder
played
should-
Pathfinder before. One of them's brand spanking new.
Ah, right. I was gonna say for the 3.5 guy, Pathfinder should be a little bit easier to.
It's pretty easy, although I do like all the little extra things that Pathfinder has. You sicko.
What am I like 5? I'm laughing at
Why
this.
are you doing that? That's-
Because she can, and she doesn't care what I have to say.
No, it's just
That's
like-
why.
So mean.
So mean. I think that's actually about it. Haven't been up to too much else. That was fun. But I got it.
You mean
We-
the game that I fell asleep during?
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, I totally passed out. I was just like, I'm done.
Apparently, she had gone to bed until after 10 a.m. that morning.
Yeah.
I've had that
And
happen
it's-
before with a player. It's disconcerting. You're just like,
Disconcerting is a good term for this.
they're alive, right?
Well, it was great because okay, so the scenario which happened was the fact that we were in the Amazonia,
Mm-hmm.
and we were using like spirits to go across and find our way through. So we get to a river which is really big, and
It's not actually the Amazon River, but it might as well fucking be.
yeah. So essentially, what ended up happening was I couldn't just be like, okay, mana barrier, and let people walk over it like a bridge. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna conjure a river spirit. And I conjured the river spirit, and I got it to like part the river a little bit, so that essentially it's like, ah. And then I
It
was
was
just like,
bad. It was so bad.
it was bad. So I'm like, I have levitate person on, so I'm just like, I levitate across the water, like, okay, I'm on the other side. See you later, guys. So I had the spirit part the water. So at that point, I was like, I won't be needed. I'm not going to join in with combat. I'm done. And I
Actually,
left.
helped a little
I
bit.
I just went-
Sleep on the high note.
And I slept on the couch. I was like, you guys have fun. So what ended up happening after that?
So you parted the sea, right?
Yeah.
And then we all start running through, right? It's an Amazon River in the middle of Shadowrun, terrible, awful place. So immediately, piranha larger than my head started diving through the wall of water at us. So it turned it into Sushi Ginsu Fest of running the gauntlet of this fucking river. It was bad. It was really bad. I nearly died, but it was great.
Fair enough.
And apparently we had joked that since my guy's got an adrenaline pump, he freaks out, and then afterwards he has a heavy crash. I almost crashed running out. Like I
Oh,
would have
no.
or would have died. And he runs by and puts like a slap patch on my back. So I had like another 2 rounds, which was just enough to get me just out. And we argued that I ran into you and we both knocked each other out.
Nice.
And that was the end of the game because
Awesome.
you were already freaking asleep. So
Yeah.
it was just fitting.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah. So that's how that ended. It was a lot of fun though.
Yeah. But yeah. So that essentially was part of my week, was playing Shadowrun. Seeing that we're just gonna go straight into my.
I was going to say that's actually probably the best segue we could have had.
Yeah, probably the best. So. No. No trench foot. That did not happen.
Although that was actually threatened. The GM said, or like Tio said, nobody piss in this water. Throwing it out there.
But
It's the Amazon. You would want to risk it.
He warned it was going to be
Particular
bad.
little critter.
And yes, we play Shadowrun.
Yep.
3 of us, one of which was not here, are actually in the same game. And yeah, Shadowrun is good. Yes, it has is in tabletop. I have Shadowrun Returns, but I haven't actually broken it down and really played it. The tabletop is a bit more fun, I think.
Yeah.
You can have more Fun stuff.
We play between second and third edition.
Old, super old ass edition.
Yeah.
Because that's what Tio grew up with, and that's what he loves, and that's what he runs.
Yeah. He homebrews a little bit of the stuff that branches in between second and third. So like the mechanics aren't broken or stuff makes more sense. So essentially it's mainly second edition, but things that are like, dude, that's
little bit of
ridiculously
third.
stupid.
Third fixed a few things
Yeah.
and broke other stuff, so he's just like, I'm just gonna take this stuff from third and pretend the rest of it doesn't exist.
Right. So yeah, we play second and third edition.
I have the 5th edition books. They're sitting up there, and
Yeah.
I'm not gonna touch them. I'm using them to actually put my character sheet on and write on.
Right.
But it's really fun. It's probably one of my more favorite settings because it throws fantasy and cyberpunk together, and it's
Yep.
a lot of fun.
But yeah, so this week essentially I've been crazy busy. Well, interestingly enough, I've not really been crazy busy, but I've been busy. I went through a spat of like insomnia over the weekend. And then I crashed on Sunday and I crashed on Monday, and now like I'm trying to fix my sleep schedule by staying awake tonight, which hopefully that 5-hour energy does something. But
You probably 2 hours. You get 2 hours out of it.
yeah, probably. So essentially played more Final Fantasy 14. I got to level 38, I think now. So I just looked at a chat at Trenchfoot's comment and I'm like, but
This is gonna be a thing, isn't it?
it's
Trent?
totally gonna be a thing apparently.
Make it a thing.
But yeah, so like playing Final Fantasy 14, I've been co-hosting a new show, oddly enough. It's not on this channel, it's over at Jack Lafier's channel. It's called Obligatory Conversation. It's going to be happening twice a month, and it's going to be the first and third Monday of every month. So the next one's actually the 16th. And essentially what it is, Obligatory Conversation, you come in, you ask us questions, and we give you advice. Yay!
Cool.
It gets pretty deep, actually. It can be anything from like streaming questions to just regular advice or literally anything you need to know. We had one person that just submitted the question of, do you want to build a snowman? Which was awesome. So, yeah, no.
Oh my god.
My
That's-
answer is yes, just so you
Yes,
know.
right? Exactly.
We
So,
can't now, though, at least in the States.
I still have a
I
little
can't
bit.
ever, so I really want to.
Coolest weather ever. It was really warm and rained a whole lot today, so my entire town looked like Silent Hill. Fog everywhere, really bad.
Cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
But yeah. So that's the 16th over at Jack Lafier. Twitch.tv
Light.
/ Jack Lafier. Yes, everyone with their lighters. Awesome. Be embraced. Hi, embraced. But yeah, so I've been co-hosting that. And I missed OTalk yesterday because I totally fell asleep at my computer chair, which sucked, which meant I missed stream last night, which sucked. But yeah. Other than that, it's just been craziness with keeping stuff up to date. And the thing that really sucked was the fact that I was having problems with my Spotify. And I lost my wub wub bars, as I call them. They're just like the equalizer bars or the visual bars that you get for music. And my screens looked completely dull and just boring because Spotify broke. And yeah. So I actually ended up downloading Fubar 2000, and I ended up
Good.
buying the Monster Cat album that I always use for my stream. So now I have it, and I have visuals, and it's not going to break. So, fingers crossed, hopefully, knock on wood, it's not going to break. But I was waiting for someone to go.
See, now we can't do it. Here's the plan.
So all these terrible comments is seriously making me want to link you all a Guar video, just because we all know where that's going to go.
Rest in peace, Odorous.
Hmm.
But
People are trying to get Odorous into Mortal Kombat. Did you know that? There was a fan petition.
So good.
Put him as a character, and I'm thinking.
wait, what's going on?
They're talking about putting a guy from
People trying to
Guar
put
into
Oh,
Mortal
yeah.
Kombat.
the late lead singer of Guar as a character in Mortal Kombat.
Oh wow.
He looks with
Wonder
the
what the
costume. He
budget
looks like he
Yeah,
would do it.
I mean, yeah, but
It's
still.
better than Freddy Krueger or Kratos.
They're talking about now. I can't complain about this one because I'm kind of a nerd for it. But they're talking about putting the Predator in this one. Kind of fits. It's not terrible for Mortal Kombat, but still, they're kind of out there. All of the special characters are kind of out there. You're talking about Spawn too, so whatever.
Is it becoming like Soul Calibur essentially then?
There's a guest
Yeah, I
thing.
hope
Yeah, Mortal
not.
Kombat's done that
There
for
was
a
no.
little
Yeah, I
while.
really hope not because Soul
Hmm.
Calibur. Yoda and Darth Vader didn't need to be in the fourth. I can deal with Ezio in the fifth. I kind of dig that.
The lightsaber Star Wars nonsense was because Force Unleashed was happening at that time, and that they were just trying to promote it in that other game.
Well, there's like, okay, let's put in a very
He's not a tumor.
character.
Abby.
There will be no balancing issues with that.
Maybe the way this chat's going, maybe it is a tumor.
Oh
It's a benign.
oh my gosh.
Point
Oh,
lady
but
tumor.
there is something that happened, I forgot, on Tuesday last week. After the podcast, we did Cards Against Humanity. And we did a deck
Yeah, you
builder.
did. I saw that.
We did a deck builder for like the kitty community or kitty committee and like my stream channel. It was great. It was just
Is
in
that
general.
what you call your fans?
Yeah, it's the kitty
Yes.
committee.
That's
Not
fucking
wrong.
adorable. I'm sorry.
It's the kitty committee, and welcome to the cat cave. And yes, the cat cave can have multiple contents. Like,
Yes, I think that's why he's just like, just give me a minute.
Oh dear.
as
It
we
took a
found
second for
out,
that to click.
as we
Mhm.
found out through Cards Against Humanity.
Mhm.
It's against
That shit will
humanity.
reveal
You bring out
everything.
A lot of secrets.
Yep. Yep. Actually, one of it. It's okay. But
That's kind of gross.
one of the best things is there's a highlight on my channel right now that we had played such great cards, we started crying.
Oh,
I
yeah,
was
saw that.
laughing so hard, I was crying. It was great.
I saw a little bit of that, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it was just absolutely wonderful. Absolutely just wonderful. So, there's a couple things I need to kind of tweak. Certain cards just didn't flow very well, and
Flow
Yeah.
very well, huh?
yeah.
Do we gotta do that not pregnant gif again?
No.
I
You
say
thought it was dead, it's not.
It's-
Jokes never die, bad jokes never die.
It will stay around for as long as it's true.
Jeremy's not here, someone had to say it.
Oh. But yeah, so it was one of those things that it really got the community pretty well together, and we had like, what was it? It was between 8 to 10 people in a Zoom call. So it was fun. It was a lot of fun actually. I was actually thinking about doing it again this week because we didn't really get to test it all out all that much. So go through and give it a complete playthrough, which would be awesome. Why? Quit with the topic. Chat. Shh.
Ah!
Let's not comment, please.
Oh,
No
man.
comment. I plead
What
the
week?
fifth.
Guys, we love you, but no.
Just no. But oh well, I just completely lost my fucking train of thought now. God damn
You
it.
were on stream. That's what you were doing.
Ah.
Hee hee hee.
Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah.
That's what
But
you're
yeah.
doing.
No, try and figure out like if we didn't get through all the cards.
Drink.
So I'd like to figure out like going through all the cards and seeing really the full playtest of it. But we made like what was it, 200 some white cards and I think 60 question cards. So I mean, we made a big deck. We made a full deck of it, which was good. But yeah, no, I might do it again. I don't know if I want to do it tonight or tomorrow though, because I actually want to play Evoland. I don't know if maybe
I've heard about
Alex-
it.
It's supposed to be like just a short RPG, like quick storyline, stuff like that. But yeah, like I want to do something that's just not Darksiders, especially when I'm tired. I want to play it again though, and that's the thing that sucks is every single time. What was it? Like every single time I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna play Darksiders, something happens, like I'm tired or sick, and
You just don't want to play that game, dude.
I really do want to get through that fucking boss though.
Sure you
That
do.
boss is just
Sure.
ridiculous. I actually watched a YouTube video of someone completing it in under 4 minutes, and I'm like,
Screw that
you
guy.
make me
Huh?
feel like shit.
It's
I like
really
it.
not like I played that game way too damn much, almost to the point where I might say that I've mastered it.
That
But
game reminds me of it's in the same sort of category, I'd say, as Shadow of Mordor. It does nothing original.
exactly, it takes two things,
It's such
maybe
a copycat,
three,
but it's still
mushes them together. It would be
Yeah.
a shit game if the story wasn't good. The story it does do well.
Yeah, I
And the
really like
cutscenes
this
are
story.
really well.
I think it's a good story. I think they made like some comic. I think it's adapted from comic books.
Well, the whole art style is comic book, and they made a companion comic book for it that gives you a little bit of background, but they're completely unnecessary.
I want them to make a third one in that series. I think it has, I
They
think it has a
from
place.
from what I'm hearing, Nordic Games is working on it. So
Nice.
I know they're going to re-release it on PS4. They're going to make another definitive edition of one of the Darksiders games. I'm like,
mush them both together wouldn't be hard.
No.
Enough remasters. Stop.
They need money. Maybe they need money to make the third one.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Maybe.
But yeah, so no, at some point I will definitely get back into it. But right now I've just been on like a relax break. And as much as I really, really just want to continue with Final Fantasy 14, I'm like, I worry if I continue like constantly playing Final Fantasy 14, my stream's gonna be stereotyped as a Final Fantasy 14 MMO stream instead of variety. And it's something that I greatly worry about. Even though I greatly enjoy the game and I love to play it and I'm addicted to it right now and want to continue with it, I just feel like my stream might suffer just a little bit from it. So I'll get all these
PS4,
people.
I'll help you stream shit.
I know.
I think you playing Destiny would be fucking hilarious to watch. I'd watch the shit out of that.
But
I'm
it's
just
like
saying.
me playing Borderlands. Dude, I love fucking playing Borderlands.
I mean, pre-sequel has been out for a while. I haven't even touched it yet. So
It's.
that's a thing.
I don't think I have
was
it yet.
thoroughly depressed with that game. I did not like it.
Impressed or depressed?
Depressed.
Sad face.
Like
There's a
it-
new DLC
yeah.
coming out, from what I understand.
Which one? Which game?
Pre-sequel. You go into
I've been-
Claptrap's brain or something.
I've been told pretty much the only way to get fun out of that game is to play
See?
with multiple and
Dobby's
take the
in. Broke fist.
Well,
Yeah.
here's the slight problem. I had okay. I'll let
Here we
you
go.
in on some behind the scenes of the stream.
Uh-oh.
I had started a PlayStation 4 fund. I'd started one.
A fund, like
A
to
fund.
buy one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But what ended up happening was I had to switch and allocate some of that money in order to survive.
Right.
Yeah, that happens.
So at this point, I'm down to less than 25% of what it would take for a PlayStation 4. So, on the plus
She's
side,
not asking
though,
for donations, but
no,
But you could.
but yeah, no. If I really wanted donation incentives, you'd see like a progress bar that says this much till PlayStation 4. But no. So essentially, I have internet, I have electricity and stuff like that, but I had to allocate it, which sucks. But oh well.
Who needs electricity when you have a PlayStation 4?
Right.
wait a minute.
Yeah.
Oh,
So no, at some
Darn.
point that will be a thing, but as of this current moment, I'm pretty much going to have to start over with that.
if you get the PS4, will you get the stupid Dragon Ball game?
No.
Son of a...
Hates Dragon Ball. Everyone.
I
knows.
know. It's a joke. That's probably the only game I'm sure that she wouldn't buy.
Yeah, no. I will
Although-
not.
Infamous.
I'll bet you money
Infamous
that Tio
sounds-
would probably buy it and steal your PS4 for like an hour at a time on Shadowrun days and shit. He'd try.
He'd
wouldn't
try.
Work. It wouldn't
He'd
work.
fail.
He'd try.
Now what? Are we on the news?
We can be. I actually have stuff.
Well, why don't you go first?
Yeah. I
Can we talk about the new Tim Burton movie that was announced?
say what now? See, I didn't hear about that.
Oh, Tim Burton's got a new movie.
Is Johnny Depp in it?
Probably.
Probably.
In most days.
They are married.
Did you hear though that Tim Burton and his wife are divorcing?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Is it because?
So
of
who's gonna get rights of Johnny Depp?
Johnny-
Obviously, Tim Burton.
That's what I said. I was like, no, Johnny Depp kind of owes his soul to Tim Burton.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I thought they were already married.
I thought Tim Burton and Johnny Depp were married. Not
That's what I'm saying.
Well, what I'm seeing is Tim Burton will make a live-action version of Dumbo,
What?
which sounds.
I have heard of
terrifying.
weirder shit.
It is Tim Burton though.
How's he like live action? Like, is it going to be creepy CG or something like that?
Absolutely. Have you seen this guy? It's gonna.
Oh,
that's fucked up.
Speaking of
Why Dumbo?
Tim Burton,
That's so
I
weird.
watched Dark Shadows for the first time probably like 2 weeks ago at this
See,
point.
that needs some
Yeah.
context, but it looked like it was kind of funny. It made fun of itself a lot.
It tried way too hard. For those of you who do not know what Dark Shadows is, it's Johnny Depp vampire. Like, he is trapped in a coffin for like so many thousand of years, and then he wakes up and it's now modern age, but not modern age because it's like the 70s or something, hippie years.
So, what a lot of people who saw that movie didn't know, that's based on an old ass TV show.
Yeah.
we're talking
that's an
like
adaptation.
Super, like shitty 80s actual soap opera show.
Yeah.
The first attempt at doing like a horror themed thing in a soap opera environment. It was like in Days of Our Lives with this big weird old mansion. Somebody was a ghost, somebody was a vampire, somebody was a werewolf, and
Right.
nonsense ensued. And this happened, and it made fun of itself a lot.
That's bizarre.
But
I mean, I like
it
the
is
Monsters
bizarre.
and the Addams Family, but a soap opera? That's
It was the 80s, and I promise you, it might be the cheesiest thing that you've ever seen. Really,
yeah,
look
the
it up.
movie
Look
was
it up on
awful.
YouTube. Look it up on YouTube.
The
movie
movie
had very
itself
good
was just
reviews. It got
awful because it
really
tried
voted
too
with
hard.
A lot of people.
It looked like it had about 2 funny parts, and they were probably both in the trailer.
Yeah. I was kind of upset. Now I'm waiting to watch the new one with Johnny Depp. That's like a love story.
Is that Mordecai one?
Yeah.
I heard
That's
that was
pretty funny.
super bad.
Well,
It's funny as hell. Like it's
How
a
the time-
bad movie, but it's funny.
How the times have turned. Johnny Depp is turning out shit movies, and Keanu Reeves got good ones. What the
Yeah.
hell?
That's so weird. Like,
The world's changed.
dude, John Wick was an amazing movie.
Damn
I
right.
really
I
should
would-
see
I
that
would see
because
that
I hear
again and again.
That's like top shelf stuff.
Hmm.
But I found out that Tim Burton is going to direct like action Dumbo movie, which just reading that headline is bizarre in various ways. So
I think they should just stop trying to do live action remakes of movies that were good, or
it's
TV
like,
shows
why-
that were
They
good.
should stop
That's
trying to
a
do
weird
remakes of
choice.
movies at
Yeah.
all
Mm.
and start doing, original good movies like that thing that's top of the box office right now. Thank you for the segue. So Chappie's number one.
That
If anyone's seen anything about
there's a
Chappie,
movie called
I've not
Chappie
seen it
with a robot, but it's rated R. Like I don't know
I'm
much about.
pretty
this.
sure that's actually
It's
it.
rated R and there's robots. Take a guess.
Yeah, can you
Yeah, it's rated
provide
R.
some context to this? Because
It's rated R. So it's like
He's
near
very
future sort of
interested.
thing, and near future sort of thing, and crime is apparently patrolled by a mechanized police force that has like
Nice.
it's not really AI at all. It's just like robots. And somebody gets a hold of one of these and like steals him and fucks with his programming, so he actually has sentience. And it's him kind of growing like a child as he's like a combat droid, but he's got like all these stickers and shit all over him. He develops like a lot of really good emotions. He becomes a genuinely really likable character, and you feel for it. Now, while I haven't actually seen it myself, I've seen beyond just watching the trailer and stuff, the reviews and whatnot. It feels very District 9.
Wait, what is this?
It's called Chappie.
Chappie.
Yeah.
CHAPPIE.
Yeah. Trailer, well, I mean, it's number one at the box office right now.
Yeah, the reviews aren't very good. It's kind of like
I didn't even.
It's got about, on IMDb, it's got about 7.4.
Metacritic has like 40 out of 100.
So,
Yeah.
so I take it the hype of 50 Shades of Grey is just completely over now?
Actually,
I
on
love
that, that's the funny thing. A sci-fi movie is number one right now. Couple of weird things. Will Smith's Focus, which I know nothing about.
I'm
is second.
surprised that this is beating out 50 Shades of Grey. That has to be
Kingsman
true.
is still above. Is now above 50 Shades of Grey because it's continually actually making money. 50
We're
Shades of
finally-
Grey is actually down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, number 6 on the top 10.
God for that.
Dude,
What
Kingsman.
about is Hot Tub
Kingsman was
Time
good.
Machine beating it? Hot Tub Time Machine 2?
No.
Okay.
Things that are currently beating 50 Shades of Grey at the box office. Immediately above that, the SpongeBob movie.
I'm for that. I'd
Yeah,
watch a
but-
SpongeBob movie over 50 Shades.
Then Kingsman. Then whatever this thing is called, the second best exotic Marigold Hotel. I have no idea what that is.
I've never heard of that, but I see it on.
Blah 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 blah. I have no idea what I'm looking at. Apparently, it's a drama / comedy.
Mm.
Who's pestering me?
Above that is that Will Smith Focus and Chappie's on top.
Cranky construct.
So that's neat. Other interesting crap that's going on is all the TV shows and junk coming out. Game of Thrones season 5 had another trailer come out for, well, Daenerys being an asshole and awesome about it.
Awesome.
I have to see that trailer. I've been told it's good.
Are you
Everyone
linking
is
it?
about to. Yeah.
Mm.
That's that. So that's
I gotta be like the only person on earth who really just doesn't care about Game of Thrones, just because I really don't watch any TV. I on demand has spoiled me. I just watch YouTube. I don't even watch Netflix. I watch YouTube and Crunchyroll.
but
But I can see the appeal. I
it
mean,
is definitely a good series. I've seen a lot of overhyped series before, and I just don't jump on the bandwagon just because hey, medieval fantasy thing. Yeah, you like that stuff, right? Most of them are shit.
I mean,
This is actually pretty good.
the last series that I've watched consistently is Breaking Bad, and I really enjoyed that.
That was good.
Maybe it's because shut up, Gabi. Shut up. I do not. You do.
What am I missing?
But I don't like. I would watch that with my family, but now that I'm away from family.
What would you watch with your family? Wait.
No, I would watch Breaking Bad.
Oh, that's just perfectly timed.
I'm sorry it happens.
Fuck you.
Other actually interesting thing that came out today, speaking of trailers, Netflix actually put out the official trailer, speaking of comic book movies and shit that are about to come up,
Or Daredevil?
Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
So that got put out
Oh, yeah,
today.
I see that on Coming Soon. That's a
That's
Netflix
the-
exclusive series, right?
Yep, it's the
Oh,
first
that's a
of
smart
four
idea
that they're.
from
It's
their
the first of four they're gonna have, and it actually looks like it's gonna be kind of dark, and the action is going to not suck, and
That'd
it's
be good.
not like just like HBO and everything else. It's not just a general network TV show, so they can get away with a lot more than. Why you dead? Stop
You
being
told me
dead.
to stop sleeping in my computer chair.
Defiance. I approve of that.
Gotta
but-
rebel.
Oh, I shouldn't close my eyes though. I might actually
don't do
fall
that.
asleep.
Don't do
Yeah,
that.
don't be doing that.
So after watching this, I'm actually pretty hyped for Daredevil. The guy looks good. The Kingpin looks good. I'm gonna watch it. This is definitely actually on my list now. So was worried about it, but apparently Supergirl is gonna be a show too. Haven't
I
heard
heard
much
about
about
that one.
that. I think it's TNT that's gonna have it.
Mm.
Interesting.
Now that's interesting because I'm like, are we ever gonna get a Wonder Woman movie? Ever?
Yes,
Yeah.
officially. Well, she's gonna be in the next
Who's playing
Batman
Wonder Woman
Superman
again?
film.
No, I mean a
Gal
Wonder Woman
Gadot.
movie. Like,
Yeah, everybody's getting them. It's on the slate. It's on the big long
Yeah.
DC slate.
Yeah.
It's
I
on
can
the
look
list.
it up for you, but it's the answer of your question is it is going to happen, and there is a year dated for it. I just don't know what that is off the top of my
I
head.
just think that DC needs to step it up because they are losing to Marvel really bad in the movie deal. These
That's
yeah.
what they're hoping to. Well, this is technically they haven't kicked off their cinematic universe at all
Mhm.
yet. This next movie is supposed to be the thing that does it. Not too long ago, they released a picture of Jason Momoa as Aquaman.
Mm.
I just
Holy
feel
shit.
that
That'll be good.
in
Holy
the wake
shit.
in the wake, I mean, they got Suicide Squad on the way, but in
Yeah.
the wake of the Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxy, they need to come out with a Justice League movie. They
2017.
They will. They have a plan for it.
that's good because they need to compete if they want because Marvel's just bringing all the everything.
Well,
Oh,
they
yeah.
to be
Taking
fair,
out
they
some-
did get a head start because they
They're
started
bringing
back
out-
with the first Iron Man. So
Yeah,
they've
they're
been at
bringing
this for
out
years.
some of the most obscure but loved and cult following superheroes and giving them generally respectable adaptations. And I think that
Some of them better than their actual thing. Like Marvel's been doing this for a long time. Have you ever actually like first actual Marvel movie that I've ever seen? You ever read a Blade comic book?
I've never read a Blade comic book.
No.
Good, because it's garbage. Wesley Snipes made that shit cool. I kid you not. And the comic books, for a lot of the time, it was a little kid with an afro and a knife.
Have you seen the original
joking.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comics?
That shit was dark, man.
That was
Oddly
violent.
dark.
That was extremely violent.
Uh-huh.
That and the original The Mask comic was not funny. He would shove an AK-47 down a guy's pants and pull the trigger.
Yeah. And was it
And then
Ruvar
Jim
there?
Carrey did it, and he's like this crazy cartoon guy, and I'm like,
Like Ruvar is pretty much right. They did well. Batman almost killed the superhero movie franchise. Period. With the Arnold Schwarzenegger Batman movie, like it was an incredibly negative reception by everybody, and they stopped doing comic book movies for a long time. The first one
when was that? Was that like in
that was Batman and Robin.
Oh, how times have changed, right?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, that killed
Wow.
it because I forget who directed it, but the guy who directed that movie was the thoughts behind it then was, we don't need to make a good movie. We need something that's going to sell toys. Seriously.
Yeah.
That was how they made movies back then. It was a kids movie. They needed to sell toys. So every time they were about to do a scene and people were taking it too seriously, he would get up on a megaphone and go, and remember everybody, it's a cartoon. And you'll wonder why it turned into shit. Maybe because the people who actually
They're
enjoyed this
holding it
stuff
back.
started getting older. And that's actually what they're targeting now. People who grew up with comic books.
That's
People who
smart.
are in their
I mean,
20s and 30s and stuff.
That's a lot of media outlets are starting to, you know, the demographic, now that the internet's there, they're able to expose it to a bunch of different people, including the people who grew up with it.
Not to mention, if the movie is just good anyway, they'll sell toys, even if
It's
it's not
good
for
for all
children.
ages. I mean, it's fine. I just think that
But it's interesting to me that they've actually moved towards proper filmmaking and
Mm.
telling a good story as opposed to selling toys.
merchandising.
Like let's just throw down like Thor. Thor's a pretty, you could have a lot of problems with having a pagan god as a hero
Mhm.
in American cinema. That could
Mhm.
go really wrong if they portrayed it in the wrong way. But how they did it, besides mushing it in with all the other superheroes and stuff like that, they could have just made it like, oh, here's an excuse to sell toy hammers. They're easy to make. Everyone will want one. But they made a story about a guy who needed to grow the fuck up, who was an immature little asshole, wasn't worthy of anything that he had, and he learned how to not use the, with the X-Men movies and shit, it's all about the powers.
Yeah.
Mhm.
With the Marvel movies, it's about who the person is. That's the kicker.
That's good.
yeah.
I think.
I mean, what's the first Iron Man about? First Iron Man is a guy who nearly dies and comes to terms with it and realizes he's an asshole and has to help, fix things. The second one, he kind of did it again.
Mm-hmm.
And the third one, for whatever fucking reason, he decided that he didn't need it anymore and he was just as much of a man without the suit as with. Those are important story things that aren't just, here's how we're going to, like the comic books will frequently do. Here's how we're going to set up a story, but then we're going to go back to status quo so we can sell more comic books.
Right.
We're going to send the Joker off to Arkham Asylum, but he's always going to break out so Batman can fight him again. That's why I like the movies better than the comics sometimes. It's sacrilege, I'm sure.
Mm.
But
I don't
Some people
think
are gonna be like, no.
I mean,
Not
some
really
people
true.
really are, but there's more impact in these. I mean, what the second Cat movie is a couple years old now, right? Spoilers. Shield was destroyed. That is still a long-standing organization in the comics that has been stagnant for so long. They got rid of it. They're not afraid to do big stuff, and that's cool. That's good cinema. That's good storytelling. And I think that with those like icons, because we don't have the kind of role models we did before. At least when I was a kid, superheroes were my role models. I didn't know any great people. I had to aspire to be fake people, really.
No, that's okay.
But that's kind of been like the folk heroes of our generation are superheroes and comic book characters and shit like that. And now that's finally come to fruition. And now that it has, I'm starting to get sick of them. I'm not gonna lie. I'm still gonna go see Avengers. Still gonna go see all that stuff. But it's
This renaissance that
it's starting to
is
oversaturate.
just
Not too much else that's interesting comes out in between those.
And there'll be little things like Constantine. It's technically a comic book character, but it doesn't fit into that superhero genre.
He's not a superhero.
Yeah, he is a dick. He's an unabashed dick, and he loves it, and he's not going to change.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they did good storytelling with what they've done so far, and I'm interested to see if they can actually keep it up, because it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard not to just fall into a rut. And speaking of falling into a rut, that's actually the end of my news. So I'm going to let somebody else take it over, and I'm going to get off the soapbox. So who's
I guess
next?
I'll go.
Alex.
In case you didn't know, there were actually 2 conventions at the same weekend. There was PAX East in Boston, and there was GDC, the Game Developers Conference. So a pretty solid amount of news dropped. As far as big events, well, I'll just start off this right off the bat. Now, I'm going to link you to a video I did. I'm not going to go too far into the details behind it, but the people who watched my stream last night, I explained why I made this video. Because some idiot at GDC decided to do something stupid, and I was very offended by it. A lot of people were, so I decided to make this video. I'm posting it in the chat. I hope you guys will watch it and share that with every single person you know, especially people who are feeling bad, because I made that to kind of help people. That was not really anything particular. There are really a lot of indie games kind of appeared at PAX. PAX is usually the place where they start. The indie developers are able to get out there and see their wares. Freedom Planet's come to the Wii U. Freedom Planet got a really good reception from the people who covered it. It's sort of like Sonic the Hedgehog for the new generation, like classic Sonic the Hedgehog. Valve really broke out at GDC. They announced a lot of stuff. One of them is a Steam streaming box where you can stream your Steam games to your TV. Now, for someone like me who has their TV right over there and a really long HDMI cable, it really isn't good for me, but...
That's good for me. That's right there.
Yeah.
Right there.
Valve has been investing a lot of their
That's why
efforts
this is here.
into hardware lately, which is, personally, that's a little discouraging. I'm like, you kind of used to make games. You really haven't done much since Dota 2. We really don't know what you're doing. And there were the Steam boxes. Steam boxes, they're still pushing Steam OS. Or
how do those look?
They look okay. I mean,
large portion of Steam library is getting...
The situation is that for people who already have gaming PCs, there is nothing that's going to convince you to buy these. I mean, the only thing they say, we have our own operating system called SteamOS, although they always put that in all caps, so it looks like Steamos.
I know, right?
It's a cereal.
Emos.
Oh, I didn't connect those dots until just now.
Steamos,
Thank you.
Part of a balance. So, and they also, Valve also introduced their own VR helmet, virtual reality with HTC. And between Morpheus for this PlayStation, which is coming out next year, it got delayed, which is a little bit disappointing, and Oculus Rift, which has already been making a lot of waves, VR seems to be the way of the future. And Valve actually did a tech demo of their new headset by doing a first-person view. Oh God, you guys are idiots. Oh my God.
Oh man.
But
that's why we do it.
They did a tech demo where you were repairing a droid from Portal, and people were like, "Oh my God, Portal 3!" I'm like, "No, it was a tech demo."
But of course, they've done that on purpose to make people, be like, "Oh my God."
Yeah, I mean, Valve has been investing a lot of stuff into hardware and instead of software, like hardware and services, and that's encouraging because they clearly know what they're doing. They're trying to get Steam up to snuff. They're trying to open the door for various, new devices. But I'm just thinking, like, I kind of miss it when you made games. I mean. That's just my opinion. I kind of think that the focus on hardware. I mean, I love that Steam sucked when it first came out. The reception for Steam when it first launched was unanimously negative, but now it's the default service for PC gaming, and that's good. They've made it very appealing. Of course, there are problems. They need a lot of quality control, and they need to fix Greenlight because Greenlight is the gauge of what the public, like some bad stuff has gotten through Greenlight. Stuff that is broken, stuff that is ugly, stuff that has copyrighted material. it's so people are thinking, you need to work on this, Valve, and people, is the Steam machine a good idea? It's, in my opinion, I'm segregating from the PC gaming because no one with a gaming PC is going to buy these.
No, this is mostly to get
The thing
console
is-
guys into Steam.
Now, here's the thing that makes me wonder though, because they're launching it, or they're like promoting it through Steam so much that it's kind of like, why don't they advertise it elsewhere instead of just on Steam? Because if you're
Well, I'm
playing
sure
on
it is
Steam,
elsewhere too.
I mean, it
Well,
probably
most of
is.
it has been coming on Steam, and that's a really interesting point. They should be advertising that, but here's the other thing. The PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One are using a lot of PC architecture.
Oh,
They
of
are
course.
basically PCs. The consoles are trying to become PCs now.
Yeah.
So the fact that the Steam machine is kind of trying to be a PC for the living room seems counterproductive, because I don't know. I just don't think the Steam machine really have a niche to get on, because the PC crowd already is going to ignore them, and the console crowd really just want to stick with the consoles. Stick with the PlayStation, stick with the Xbox. So
Right.
I don't know where they're going to go with this. I'm very, very skeptical. Now, the
If
controller,
they
which has gone
wanted
through a
to,
ton
like,
of renovation since
steal
then.
that market, there's a few things they could do, interestingly enough. So that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to basically go, guys that are on consoles, get over here, because it's the same experience, but that way, on the plus side, if all people that are PC gamers can get those people to go over to things like SteamOS, that means the games that we get will be better, because people will be developing them for actual PCs with good hardware.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
So, I mean,
There's a-
Well,
if Steam really wanted to steal that market, they could just be like, we'll activate any game codes that Xbox and whatever have used on their labels, and you can have those games for free
Whoops.
on Steam.
Take it over. They take
Yeah.
over instantly.
Just
like
take it
that.
over. It would be instant, especially with the way the console companies want to go with restricting the secondhand game trade.
There's a lot of weird stuff going on with consoles and
Yeah.
censorship lately too.
Mhm.
Like, for example, that Dragon Ball game we kept harping on. It's the only game I've seen do this. When you go into cutscenes and stuff like that, it'll actually pop up and it'll
Yeah,
block you from
yeah.
recording it
Hmm.
in
Well,
a
that's
lot of
interesting.
places.
and yet it thinks like I am. Now, I do know another game that did that. Like Call of Duty Advanced Warfare would not let you do that. There are certain periods in the game that would not let you share it because they were like cutscenes.
So how does that work with doing?
With streaming, I
Yeah.
believe it actually does still work with streaming, because literally what is on your screen goes out.
Right.
But the machine itself won't record it. Most of the time, this isn't like a censorship sort of thing. For example, like Dragon Age Inquisition has one tiny bit where it does it, and that's when you're logging into the Dragon Age servers, so you can't get your password stolen and shit.
Right.
It pops up whenever you're logging in that it's blocked. You entered a block scene, and then as soon as you get past it, it comes back.
I
And
never really found that to be much of a problem. So I'm just
not before, and this time it's popping up all the time, and I wonder why. But all these games seem to be slowly moving that direction, and that's weird because a lot of their audience is people on Twitch,
Yeah.
people who want to record stuff and share things on YouTube, and that's
If
counterproductive
anything, they
to the
should
industry.
make that a setting you can change, because I understand that they're worried about backlash of you streaming and some underage kid watching and parents going crazy
well,
as they do.
the
But
thing that
inevitably, that's people's choice.
it's really
You
the
take that away.
cutscenes that they don't want people recording, because this is the
Yeah.
same deal like when I was putting my Persona videos on my YouTube channel. There was content ID. Now it doesn't matter to me because I don't monetize my channel.
Right.
So they
Exactly.
can do that all they want.
I mean,
But,
this was a while ago, and I got flagged for a single cutscene in Darksiders.
Yeah,
Really?
cutscenes are very vulnerable to that. That and license.
That's because it's always the same footage. It's always the same audio. I mean, you can talk over it and do
That's
stuff.
true.
The
That's
only
true.
way I've ever seen people to get through that without it working is to put like a second worth of black randomly in there every few seconds, and then that actually breaks it.
Right.
but
Yeah.
it's very irritating to actually watch something like that.
Well, it's
Oh, yeah.
irritating, but like there was a period when I did the Scott Pilgrim video with my friend Matt, and I had to, some of the commentary audio was very distorted, so I had to cut that out, which means that you only heard the game audio. So you heard the licensed Amanaguchi music, and it got content ID. Now, and that was on his channel. So, he didn't get a strike. It was just that he couldn't monetize it.
Right.
So I re-uploaded it and just muted that part. But cutscenes that's a good point, because there's no user input there, so that you can't abide by, derivative works there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that with streaming, this is kind of a big deal as far as, the Let's Plays, there's fair use or something. There's a lot of discussion going on as to the legality of using game footage in monetized videos. And Nintendo in particular have been approaching this very badly. They've been forcing you to join a certain partnership, and they will take a large chunk of the money. They also have to approve the video, and if they don't like it, then they'll just claim it anyway. So it's that's completely backwards. It's been getting a lot of negative attention there. And then you have a lot of indie companies who have been abusing DMCA, but
if the review is negative, they make it go down. If it's not, they keep it up. That sort of thing.
I think that claiming it like that is very bad, and it shows you can't take criticism. But most of the indie developers will take whatever exposure they can get, even if it's a little bit negative. So they'll let you use footage, and I've noticed some third-party companies have been very reasonable too. But there's going to be a lot of discussion going into it, because Let's Plays are a big deal. Videos that cover different games. YouTube has changed games journalism so much that we're kind of having to rewrite the rules as we go.
Yeah, that's actually why I quit doing /played on my YouTube channel. Was because I was so tired of trying to walk that thin line of like, what can I use, what can't I use? And I don't edit. So at that point, I'm like, I have no editing skills. I don't have any editing programs. How am I going to get around this by like snippeting stuff when I can't snippet anything?
Right.
So at that point, I was just
get
like,
an editing program. It's not as hard as you think.
well, yeah, but still, it was the time that it takes to do that. I've been doing other things.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, my budget for being like, do I want to focus on YouTube? Do I want to focus on Twitch? Like, I'd at that point rather focus on the Twitch and then just do like vlogs or vlogs. There we go. Vlogs.
Vlad.
Vlogs.
You're more focused on the streaming, and I kind of like making just videos, not just like Let's Plays, but also like production videos for my channel, which I'm going to get a camcorder soon, and it's going to be great because I can add live action.
Right. So at that point, even with, I think the last, our 1 year anniversary video got flagged because of us singing.
Because we sang.
Hey,
Really?
I'm not surprised.
And I was like,
there was
okay,
no way
that's
any
fine.
of us were on key. I was
That's
certainly
fine.
not on
God,
key.
no.
I was like, because like the second half of the video
That's
was
the point.
was
It was
fine.
that horrible for a reason.
I'm like, you know what? That's fine. Like, I'll. It didn't even take a strike. It was just like, are you aware? And I'm like, yeah, I'm aware that it's third party. Click, like, done. So, but at the same time, I'm like, that's really interesting. And I like went back and like went through like a couple other videos that should have been like caught but weren't.
See, one of my videos, I believe, is banned in Germany. The fun thing.
No, different. They say like you can't see it on mobile or something like that. Now,
Well, no, I was specifically because my stuff isn't monetized at all, because I want to use funny shit. If I want to make a joke, I want to make a joke.
Right.
And I'm in this to make people laugh, primarily. But we had a bout in Dying Light where one of my DAG buddies essentially just started going crazy, throwing Molotov cocktails, and I wound up turning it into a montage to Ring of Fire. So,
Nice.
yeah, it was good. It's on there. Check it out. But yeah, I later on that video is actually flagged as it has third-party content. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. It's like your videos cannot be watched in certain countries. Those countries, Germany. Like, okay.
Okay.
So, I just-
Apparently, Trenchfoot, it takes whatever that remake of Ring of Fire is. God.
the internet has changed a lot of the laws that we abide by.
Social Distortion. That's it. Social Distortion's remake of Ring of Fire. That's what it was. Sorry. You're about to get to my videos.
I mean, my channel is since I don't monetize it, I'm just trying to get views and subscribers. I really don't suffer any backlash for playing like Nintendo games. Like I can play
Right.
Donkey Kong Country, not have a problem. I know that I'm probably going to do a Let's Play on my friend Matt's monetized channel. We're not going to monetize them. We can choose not to, but we're probably going to play like Donkey Kong Country or something. But
See,
what else?
This is something I find interesting because I notice a lot of streamers or people who do videos have separate channels now due to the regulations that YouTube has dropped. Because when you look at stuff and you're like, okay, this channel is monetized, it wants to monetize everything unless
you have to go through and get
manually
every video.
monetize stuff.
Right.
Which is what I do. I just manually go through it. Because literally I'm 90% like my own content.
Completely original content.
Yeah. And so I just go through and manually do it. Well, what people have been doing is like, say they have the gameplay, they have VODs. If they know the gameplay is safe, they'll monetize it on a different channel. Or they'll have their VODs on a different channel. And I noticed several people have started doing this. And it's something that if you're unsure about whether it's going to be flagged or not, they'll upload it on the channel that doesn't have the monetized and monetize it and see if it flags. And then if it doesn't flag, they'll switch it over to their monetized channel, delete it from that channel. So essentially it's
Sneaky.
It's like the test.
Yeah, it's the test channel.
It's the test channel because if it does get flagged and they get strikes against their account,
That's a throwaway account.
right?
Yeah.
It's I know that like you can set it whether or not you want to monetize it. I mean, I know YouTube sometimes plays ads regardless, even though like I get first
Adblock Plus.
What?
I didn't say that. What?
I just
You
get
sneezed,
that
it's
little banner you put at the bottom, even though my channel's not monetized whatsoever. But I don't know. There's a lot going on, but that's what was going on as far as this Steam, I guess. I mean, I forgot what we were talking.
That's fine.
We
got
were
on a
talking
tangent.
about we were actually talking about the PC community and the console community, and that's what got into streaming. And we're all streaming's all it does to get us off course because we're all so involved with that at this point.
That came out of GDC. Well, we do know that Metal Gear Solid 5 now has a release date. It's coming September 1st, and it's going to be awesome because I want to play this game so bad. It's going to be amazing. And Kojima says September 1st. Kojima says this is going to be the last Metal Gear Solid game. And I'm like, you said that last time. You said that the time before. I'll believe it when I see it.
No. It's going to do the last Metal Gear Solid, but not the last Metal Gear.
Well, he still said that last time. Right. He said Metal Gear Solid 4 would be the last Metal Gear Solid. But I'm almost like, Kojima, you constantly have a shit-eating grin on your face. I cannot take anything at face value.
It's like Final Fantasy. It's never final.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he is such a troll, but he's very intelligent and he's a great game designer. I have a lot of respect for him. And he is going to be working on Silent Hills with Del Toro, which is cool too.
I don't know what each of them actually has to really do with those, but I mean,
know.
I don't know if they're like assistant directors or what. I don't know what their role is.
Either directors or producers. I'm not entirely sure. The other big news that came out of GDC is they're bringing Rock Band back. They're releasing Rock Band 4 for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One.
Yeah, isn't that different company making it though?
No, it's still going to be Harmonix. It's going to be the people
Okay.
who've been making Rock Band since the beginning. And we got, there was some there's an interview on Hardcore Gamer that we got, exclusive interview, and they're going to it's going to be classic instruments except the keytar. They're not going to have the keyboard. They are going to say that you're going to be able to use all of your old DLC, which is good because they have been.
95% of it on launch anyway.
What?
That was their official statement. Was 95% of your DLC on launch you'll be able to.
Yeah, the other ones are probably going to be out because of like licensing or something. But,
yeah.
Mad Cats is going to be publishing it, which are the people who are known for their third-party hardware, like some controllers and stuff. They've worked with Rock Band Publishing before. But at the same time, I'm just thinking now my experience with Rock Band is when I was in like high school and college, I loved that series. It was like I played it all the time. I always kept out for DLC. Then Rock Band 3 came out, and I thought, I'm not really having fun anymore. I feel like I want to play a real guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And then Guitarsmith.
So I got a real guitar and I got Rocksmith.
Oh, Rocksmith, sorry. Guitarsmith, whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't teach you things like finger placement or music theory, but
it's just a rhythm game.
I mean, Rocksmith is
that would be me.
Ring, ring, telephone, ring, ring.
No way. I turned
Ring,
it up.
ring, motherfucker! On the phone!
a real teaching method, and I actually had a lot of fun with it. So Rock Band just seems like the number one problem I have with Rock Band 4 is what can they do to this series that is new?
Songs.
Yeah, I mean, like the hardware is going to probably be the same. They want to focus less on teaching on this one and more on just playing. I mean, they really can't update the interface or the online stuff very, very much since.
Maybe they'll teach you how shitty it is actually being in the music industry. Maybe you'll be cutthroat with other shit. I don't know. If they're doing that with a campaign, then
if they can make the campaign like a little more customizable, like maybe you can design your own album art or design like.
See, that shit would actually be kind of cool.
Pimp out your rock bus, your touring bus.
I would make war.
Next thing you know, we're gonna have GTA and have the groupies.
Can you imagine Ray Dog having a band? Really?
The problem I have with this is that like, what are they going to be able to change? And I've written a lot of articles like, we don't need a new Rock Band, like because there's really nothing they can do to update it in the same way like the original or even the second did. It's just like, what can they do? So some people are super excited about for it. I am cautious because I'm not entirely sure that they're going to be able to update it particularly significantly. What else we got? Shovel Knight is coming to the Xbox One, and Battletoads are in it.
What?
Yes.
Now in case Shovel Knight launched on the Wii U, 3DS, and PC. It's amazing. I love it. I've got it on 3DS, and it's going to come to the PlayStation 4 and the Vita and the PS3 very soon. I believe it's in April. And one of the hidden bosses is going to be Kratos from God of War. I fucking hate Kratos. He's a stupid character.
I get to beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, I like that. So now they announced it's coming to Xbox One, and the Battletoads are going to be in it. Now, in case you haven't been tracking this, there have been hints, since Rareware is owned by Microsoft now, there have been hints that Battletoads might come back, because Rare owns Battletoads.
Man, I remember that being incredibly difficult.
A lot of people do.
Those games sucked so bad. Like, it was so fucking
it's
hard.
Not bad. It's just...
It was a great game, but I just remember, like, Battletoads, fuck. Do I really have to?
That's why I made a video about it.
That's what it was like.
So, with them appearing there and the fact that there's the hints that people are suspecting that Battletoads might be coming back.
If it is, I will be surprised if in this era they can actually make a game that challenging. Because
Well,
the
I
last
think
really
that
challenging game that got big was Dark Souls. And Dark
Uh-uh.
Souls. And, well, really
Super Meat
challenging
Boy-
game.
Boshi.
Here's
Super
the
Meat
thing.
Boy, I'll say yes. I haven't actually.
The
heard of
situation is that now super difficult games have a niche. You can get them cheap. You can get them
Mhm.
digitally.
Boshi,
So-
Wings of V.
So you don't have to, take a risk of getting it out
Very
on
difficult
store
games.
shelves when the people who want to play it will just download it and it doesn't cost too much to make. That's why games like Super Meat Boy got so popular, because people who wanted to play those super difficult retro platformers now have an outlet for it. So I think that, and I really think that, and I'm going to say it right now, I think that Microsoft has been doing relatively well with bringing back old franchises, especially
else
after
did they
Killer
do?
Instinct.
Well, that.
I mean, I'm not talking about Banjo-Kazooie. That is currently in a state of colossal confusion. But Killer Instinct has been getting a
Yeah.
ton of praise.
Ninja Gaiden was good too.
Ninja
Which
Gaiden, when I
is
was
actually a Microsoft cranking
Well,
out all the series again.
the original Ninja Gaiden. Well, that's owned by Team Ninja. I don't even know
Yeah.
what they're been doing lately. But I think that they were going to bring back Phantom Dust, which is sort of a cult RPG, but then the company closed down, so now a new company is doing it. So now we're thinking, could they bring Battletoads back? And I just think that I don't think Rare should do it though, because
If it comes back, I'll play it.
all of the good people at
Definitely.
Rare don't work at Rare anymore. They're doing their own thing. Like they actually made their own studio called Playtonic Games, and they're making a spiritual successor to
Playtonic.
Banjo-Kazooie.
That's fun.
So all the good people at Rare, they're doing their own thing, or they're making games that they are used to making. So I'm not entirely sure if Rare is going to be able to take care of it. But yeah,
We shall
Battletoads
see.
are going to be in Shovel Knight. I think that's cool. Better than Kratos. I don't give a shit about Kratos.
We've gone on rants about him before. He's a poor character in pretty much all respects.
So I'm kind of Grand Theft Auto Online Heists are apparently out. I really don't care about that.
I was going to say, and the PC version has been delayed again forever and ever and ever. It'll never come out.
Any other significant news? I mean, please watch that video I posted. That's really all I ask. So, just no huge announcements. So it's just move on to whoever's next.
Cardinal, do you have any depressing Australian news?
Oh, always does.
We're having
there's
Australian news. Some of
always
it has to
some
happen.
bad- yeah, but they never show it, which is weird. Like anytime something bad happens, they put it on all the news channels and make it seem like it happened like right near you.
Well, how
Which
about
is
some
a weird thing.
positive tech news since you are our tech
Well,
spokesman?
I have a little bit of a rant at all those people that were ranting about the newer NVIDIA GTX card that came out. That's supposed to be 3 gigabytes of graphics memory. It was
We
like
will listen to
2.5
you,
and then
right?
5 onboard thing. People are screaming, so like, oh, it's not a true 3 gigabyte card. It's slower. It's not good, and like they keep bringing up problems with it. And somebody even brought out the argument, which you can dedicate RAM from your motherboard to do the same thing that this extra 5 gigabytes is doing. And everyone's like, oh yeah, so you guys are shit and all that sort of stuff. But they haven't taken into consideration that the time it takes for the information to travel between your card and your RAM and the bandwidth allowed through the
Actually kind of
PCIe
slows
slot
things
is
down.
actually slower. That having that extra mounted on the card, it's not limited by the bandwidth of the slots that it's in, so it still works just as fast. It's still just as good, but everyone's raving like fucking lunatics because some very convincing people made a point, and it's ridiculous how this happens everywhere in the world about anything really. I guess you see it in social media stuff all the time, but if people had half a brain to like look at the architecture themselves, they would know it's actually still really good. The way it's done is still faster than your 3 gigabyte like other cards you can get.
I suppose it
The
just
way
takes a
it's
while
working.
for people to like catch on to a new way
Yeah.
of doing things, because it is a pretty vast departure from how they've been doing it.
And that's the thing, like it's brand new architecture, so people are confused about it and like it doesn't actually work the way it's supposed to. But if anything, it works more efficiently than your standard 3 GB memory cards, because they allows 5 bytes a different kind of memory that is fast and efficient. So, it's like, what the heck? It also uses less power, and which is always a good thing. Less energy, for more power is always good.
Right.
And unless you swap to the new X99 architecture, that's the best you're going to get now. Like, that's all you can do. Like, the new architecture that they've invented and come out with for the new set of motherboards, these that are coming out now, that stuff you use incredibly less energy and get far more performance out of. But again, a lot of people don't know about it or don't care about it because they don't understand the difference between X99 and X98 or 97.
Right. They're
Which I
just
could
like
go into.
numbers.
Exactly. It's like, who cares? It's the next gen thing. The quickest way to explain it is all of your current motherboards that you buy have stuff in it that's backwards compatible for the past generations. So there's always a bit of slowness that's going to happen there because of all the old circuitry that's in there.
Right.
With the new X99 build, it is not compatible with anything except for X99 stuff. Yeah. So it only takes one specific kind of RAM, one specific kind of chipset, all that sort of stuff at the moment. So
yeah, but isn't that kind of good
incredibly
for the
efficient and
people
optimized.
who are techno dumb?
In a way, it'll be easier for them because instead of going, what parts do these be like, I can only buy these ones, so it's fine. I can't fuck up now. That will be better for some people that are just like, I don't know what to buy. I'm just gonna chuck it and see what happens.
Right.
There are people like that, so it's surprising. So that will be better, but because they don't understand it, they sort of stay away from it. A lot of people do, which is the downside to that.
They fear what they don't understand. Have we heard this song and
exactly.
dance once or twice before?
Yeah, it's the age-old one. But yeah, so I still cannot fathom why people that are even in like the tech industry that have massive channels based on giving people proper news are going, no, this card is shit. This new architecture is shit.
Probably
I'm
just
like,
the same thing that's happening with all of the news agencies. They're taking money from the competitors.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. It's just
Go
spreading
figure.
so much misinformation. That sucks so bad. And I know it happens everywhere all the time, but I'm just like, fuck it up. Not with my tech.
See, this is why you need to start doing these videos.
Yeah, but that usually requires you to have something there and be like, this is how this works.
All
I
right,
don't
your
money
new
to buy
channel,
cards.
Kangaroo Engineer. Make it happen.
Yeah, but I
Have like,
explain how
have like a
kangaroos
room with a hammer
work.
hidden in a cave. If you can, like, I don't know if, like, kangaroos are probably terrible creatures to interact with. But if you can take, like, an old shitty computer case and get video of, like, one kicking the shit out of it, that'll just be the intro to every
Right.
video you ever do. And it'd be awesome.
That'd be
I'm
awesome.
sure I could find some of them just totaling cars. That is a thing
Yeah.
so far. Biggest example is,
I'd
how like,
watch the hell out of that. Yeah.
typically people, you hear about them hitting deers with cars, sort of like Ray Dog down here, and their car gets kind of fucked up, but the animal still dies. Most of the time, the kangaroo will get back up and hop along, and there'll just be massive damage to your car. They're built strangely solidly. I think it's because of all the hopping. But
Yeah.
it's the strangest thing. Like, you can total your car on hitting one of these things. Like, if you hit a tree, it's bizarre.
It's better than hitting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I
Also,
still.
yeah.
Actually,
What
kind
were
of
you
terrifying.
No, I was just gonna say I'm still trying to figure out like my tech issues that I'm having.
I gave you a few suggestions, but then I went to sleep and then didn't see what happens.
Yeah. Well, I did a few things, like uninstalled a couple programs, and it was still like, no, fuck
Yeah.
you. So I will probably end up having to completely reformat, and it sucks, but
That will suck.
Yep.
To also answer sort of
Always
Trenchfoot's
does.
sort of weird sort of question there, it's something a lot of people don't know. Kangaroos are not solitary creatures; they are pack animals. most of the time you'll see one or two because they operate in a method where one or two are out front. They do the scouting sort of thing. If everything's safe or whatever, the rest come up afterwards. So that's why you see one or two, but then all of a sudden there'll be like 15, 20, or 30 just going through. It's fucking hilarious. Also freaky.
You're telling me they're assholes
Yes.
who are
Yeah,
good at what
travel
they do.
in groups. Yeah. So I was just posing that towards Trenchfoot's kangaroo gangsters. So
Kangaroo
yeah.
gangsters.
Kinda. Oh
You're-
my god. So that has to happen between
Yeah.
now and then. You get me
Mhm.
footage, I will edit this. I'll make this happen.
Oh, if I ever end up back at the mines, I'll get you some sweet footage. I got the shit scared out of me one night while I was there. It was
Really?
yeah. I did not notice the first one come through, and then like I hear on the screen, I'm like, shit, the hippies are coming. I turn around, and it's just
The what?
the hippies.
Oh.
I'll explain that if you want. That's the entire reason I was up there. And then yeah, just freaking little, for the lack of a better term, herd of kangaroos come through, and we're all just like, don't move, because it's like a couple of feet, and like I'm on top of a giant steel machine that takes down trees without effort, and
Okay.
there's just me and this herd of kangaroos coming. It'd be like the zombie apocalypse if you were standing on a thing, you're seeing that wave of zombies coming through. That's
That's-
what you should be having, okay?
That's awesome.
A lot
Yes.
of kangaroos. It's a lot.
That makes them undead kangaroos and we're
Oh god, no. If
Oh,
ever
that would be
comes
the
to-
worst thing in the world, though. Zombie kangaroos.
Yeah, if any creature being zombified in this world, that would make me afraid the most because there's so fucking many of them.
Okay,
Was
so
there
Zombie
zombie
kangaroos.
elephants in that one Resident Evil game, Resident Evil Outbreak? I think there were
I
zombie
don't know.
Probably.
Zombie
that would also
kangaroos,
suck.
They would be
That would suck. 'cause
fast.
they keep-
So okay, I really do have to ask.
Yeah, sure.
Hippies?
All right, so
Why are
the
they
reason
called hippies?
the reason I was up at the mines were because all the hippie organizations of the world were like, stop cutting down our trees. And were protesting and doing that sort of stuff. But also on top of that, they would go into the mine at night and be like, we're going to lock ourselves onto these machines so that they can't use them. And
Oh.
also other violent acts where some of the more extremer groups were laying trap stuff, attacking some of the personnel. It was getting kind of crazy.
Gotcha.
yeah.
Which is why, way back when I mentioned that I almost died a couple times in the mines. But yeah. Fun times.
Neat.
Mm.
Gotta love people.
The funniest thing out of all that is the shit that they were trying to protect, they screwed up even more.
Really?
Yes, they were trying to basically save the habitats and the creatures that were there. The mine had paid a lot of money to have teams come in, safely remove those animals, put them in proper habitats where they will be safe and in
Right.
the parts of the bush that aren't being disturbed. And they were marking trees that they knew they had to come back to and marking areas they needed to come back to. So those hippie organizations came in, marked everything. And the mine just went, fuck it, we don't have to do this, just knock it down.
Hmm.
Because it was taking too long. Yeah. So they ended up destroying that which they wanted to save, unfortunately. People gotta think, but they don't.
I'm sure there's. Oh, I was ready. I typed
Wow.
in zombie kangaroo on Google.
Oh
Is
god,
there-
what have I done?
I did find an image, and it's actually not that bad.
Oh,
but
no,
but
yeah,
also, I
zombie.
also thought I'll post the image. It's not that, it's not like gruesome or anything. But I looked up. I'm like,
Yep, my nightmares are real.
I'm
Oh,
surprised
no.
there isn't a movie about this. There's
Jesus
that movie about
Christ.
zombie beavers.
Zombievers? Yeah, that's a
Like,
real thing,
that
by the
would've
way.
been-
Made
yeah.
by the Sharknado people, mind you.
Campy and funny until you like the
Hmm.
girl starts becoming a zombie beaver. I'm like, that's stupid. I'm sorry.
That I
Wow.
didn't watch that one. So
I,
that
didn't- I
happens.
just saw the trailer. I didn't see it. But I found out about this movie called Waterborne, which it says Waterborne is a short zombie film featuring an incredible zombie kangaroo. We need your help in bringing him to life on Indiegogo. They need
All of you donate money to this immediately.
They need $15,000 for this,
Oh, God.
and they earned 17,555.
Not bad.
So-
Not bad at all. Mm.
Your
Yeah.
nightmares can be real for a low price.
Yes.
This can't be real. This
I
was
think
back
you're-
in 2013, so this must have already happened.
Did they get it?
I think this is out. Wait, that's a pitch video.
Funny
It's
Dredge.
a real video. They better have made this. They asked for money.
Well, because we know that never happens.
Well, I don't see it on YouTube, just the pitch video on Vimeo, which means that they probably just got $15,000 to make a zombie kangaroo movie that never happened.
Trenchwood is totally right, although
Now,
there's
note
an
this
add
isn't
to
a
it.
movie. It says a short film.
Yeah,
which
that's probably
makes
it.
Even weirder that they need $15,000 for that.
Which is weird because there's a lot of really good short horror films on YouTube. Like stuff that Cat won't be able to watch good. Like actually scary and they'll fit into 4 minutes.
I went to a premiere for horror movies, and they were like 20-minute long short horror movies, and they were really good. Cool stories, I mean everything. The last one, which was called Homebody, is by what was it? Sean Perry, I think. Sean Perry Productions. It was scary. Like legitimately, like I was terrified for probably about 3 weeks after watching the movie. I was just
Why
like,
did you go to a horror movie?
because I was in the trailers.
Oh, right.
yeah.
This was that thing. Okay.
Yeah,
Got
this
it.
was So I was in the trailers and for the horror movies that I was in, and a couple of the other
So your
movies.
own trailers gave you nightmares?
No, my own trailers were fine. It was just the movies themselves. The one in particular. Most of them were zombie. I mean,
That seems
They tend to be these days.
that
Yeah.
is a really bad trend that's going on. I mean,
It's dying off though, you know.
or is it? I think it's successfully very undead. It just
oh wow.
without the pun, like the last good thing that has happened with zombies lately, I think, has been Dying Light, and that's not even the zombies. The zombies don't make it good.
Hmm.
It's everything else.
I think the industry is kind of starting to realize though that zombies are just
Whenever it happens that there's a Brad Pitt zombie movie and it doesn't do so good, maybe you need to rethink it.
right.
They gotta bring dinosaurs back. Bring
Dinosaurs? Well, Jurassic Park's happening, so
Yeah, that's true.
Or
Should be good.
you could go get a Dino D-Day on Steam, where it's Germans, Nazis versus dinosaurs, and vice versa. It's $2. You'll love
like
it.
cyborg dinosaurs. Bring
I
the
don't know.
80s back.
I'm interested to see what the next like craze thing is.
Or zombie dinosaurs.
Oh shit! It's
There are
got
some
real.
free-to-play games on Steam that are like, you know, zombies, monsters, robots, and dinosaurs.
Mhm.
If we need zombies, we need to zombify things that haven't been zombified as in movies yet, like whales, zombie whales.
Dino
Like someone's in a
Crisis.
boat, and then zombie whales just come.
Okay, so
That would be
people wanna-
horrifying.
Speaking of zombies and things that haven't been zombified, people want to see how much of a nerd I am.
Sure.
That got zombified.
Zombie dragon god.
Nice.
Yup.
Yeah,
Well, zombie dragons are close to zombie dinosaurs.
that's
That
true.
glitch counts.
That is true.
It does count.
Oh, yeah, that's about as nerdy as it gets you. The one that didn't make theaters.
Hmm Yeah.
But
No, I'm.
Dino Crisis. I remember
Dino Crisis. Yeah, I'm very interested to see what the next bad trend thing is.
Because
Honestly.
it's superheroes laid out for, man, it's like a decade that they've got these planned.
Oh, I know.
But look at the face you made when you said it. That's what I'm feeling. It's like it is currently still cool. Marvel hasn't fucked it up yet.
No.
Yet.
However, Ant-Man.
However, exactly.
Yeah.
That I'm just like, I mean, these
Why?
guys got me rooting for a fucking talking raccoon with guns. All right, that's
The best line
That was
of the
elite.
trailer for Ant-Man was, "Is it too late to reconsider a name change?"
no.
And-
that was good.
I was just like, yeah, not happening.
It's not
Yeah.
as funny as the other ones. That's the thing. Marvel has relied on a lot of things. Like Guardians of the Galaxy could have been a terrible film.
It
Easy.
could have been.
You know how you make that film terrible? Take out the music.
Yeah.
then really then watch it. Take out a few of the snappy jokes and the music, and try and watch it. It's not as good at all.
That's true.
It's really a B movie. It looks like a freaking like Dungeons and Dragons game.
It does, but that's why I liked it so much.
They have the classes down and everything. There's a running joke that the Guardians of the Galaxy is actually just a bunch of really drunk Avengers playing D&D.
Yeah.
But
honestly, I would like to see some more legit like role playing.
Like a good fantasy movie.
Like a good fantasy role playing movie. And I mean, Knights of Badassdom kind of portrayed it well, except for it got way too cheesy at the end.
That was kind of going for a cheese fest. I mean, even if you looked at like, what was it, fucking Role Models.
Yeah.
It was cheesy, it was funny, and it made fun of it, but after you watched it, it's like, man, that actually looks kind of fun.
But I mean, I want to see something like that come out of like.
You want to see? I want to see an actual Pathfinder movie. They could do it. It doesn't have the Dragon Ball or like the Dungeons and Dragons cheese or any of the other cheese and shit, and it's a little more adult than everything else.
Yeah,
they could just call it Pathfinder as well.
Yeah, I mean, they're not.
No, we already have a Pathfinder. There's a movie called Pathfinder.
Yeah, it's.
Actually, yes, I have seen.
It was the Carl Urban Native Americans versus Vikings.
Yeah,
which was super.
Yeah,
I forgot all about that.
Yeah, there's a legit
Carl
movie called
Urban and
Pathfinder.
Clancy Brown, man.
And the army of possible women.
Oddly big names for that cheese ball thing.
Yeah. Well, we officially have exactly 5 minutes left. So with that, we're going to round it out by doing our little outros.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
As always, Alex, Saturdays and Mondays.
Saturdays at 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, we are going to be starting a new Backlog Killer Saturday, and we're going to be playing Beyond Good and Evil HD. And on Mondays, continuing Persona 4, 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central. Got a lot of progress done on the last one. Got a boss, got a new party member. I got 2 new party members. And thank you everyone for watching that stream. I got a lot of help from you guys. Please watch that video that I posted in the chat. You can go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/PostosMerrick. And please go to my friend Matt's YouTube channel as well, because that is where all the co-op is youtube.com/whatthefuckgame, which is youtube.com/ I will post it in the chat for you. It's youtube.com/whatthefuckgame. Subscribe, because we post a lot. We're doing Scott Pilgrim there, and we're almost done with Sonic Boom. For the love of God, thank God.
Just rough it out, man. You'll make it.
We're nearly there. We're so close. We're in the last level.
Okie dokie. Cardinal.
Also, well, I am Cardinal. You can see me here on Twitch whenever I'm not working, which is kind of just today. Every other day that I normally have scheduled off, I've been working, and that will be probably for a while, so don't count on those at all. You can find me on Twitter and on YouTube. Twitter is at alpha_Cardinal. The rest is just Cardinal. And occasionally videos go up, occasionally streams get done, but the only reliable time you'll be able to find me is here.
Fair enough.
This will be until the whole work thing gets worked out.
Yeah. Well, I am Raytog. Raytog am I. You see me here a lot, probably most. You'll find me on YouTube channel primarily. Still working on a couple of things in a row now. They're going to have an AVP video coming up, and probably mixing that up with more Skyrim because people keep requesting it. And there's a lot of funny things left to do on it, so that'll be happening. Probably going to have the next video up before the next podcast, so under a week, if edit times go well. I stream various PS4 games on Thursday and Friday nights, closing in on the midnight. Lately, we've been having Dragon Age Inquisition going on, but if people want other stuff, requests are open. So there's that. So YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, stuff.
Sweet.
Do I not have a command?
Hands or Dave?
No, Dave, try. Damn it.
Hands are Dave.
But I'm not
Dave
Dave.
is Dave.
There we go.
Those are things.
I
Click
forgot
them.
who painted
I
Click
can't. I find it hilarious. You exclamation point cat, and it goes, "No, Dave, try again." I'm like, really?
Hands are Dave.
Oh,
I'm being
sorry,
trolled
Dave.
by my bot. So I am Almir Miel, aka Cat. You can find me here, obviously,
Sometimes.
most of the time, unless I'm sleeping in my computer chair, which apparently is now going to be a thing.
Scheduled every week. Cat is asleep in a computer chair
Call it
while
cat
a
naps.
game is streaming behind her.
Mhm.
Right.
Someone else is playing is streaming behind.
Hey, if Fish
You hear from the next room, can I
think-
stop? No.
If Fish
Oh.
plays Pokemon can succeed, not Twitch plays Pokemon,
Fish plays Pokemon, yeah.
And I think Cat can do
But yeah, so you can find me on Twitter, you can find YouTube, everything from past videos of /chat goes up on YouTube, vlogs, fun stuff like that,
Or flogs, depending
or
on
vlogs depending.
her misspellings and level of sleep.
So yeah, thank you for staying tuned for our /chat podcast this time. I know it wasn't quite as eventful as it normally is, but
Hey, I gave
we
things.
are all tired
Yeah.
and we're just like,
Hey, we did stuff.
We did
We're
stuff.
tired.
There were things.
Nobody has slept here.
no one slept.
I have.
We edumacated you guys.
You're right, exactly. So, I'm hopefully gonna be back in a half hour if I don't fall asleep in my computer chair.
Take
So,
another shot.
I don't have any more 5 hour. So, on that note, though, see you guys later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
See ya.